What's up, everybody? This is Mighty Developing Dad coming to you with another reflection on the Proverbs. It is May 1st, 2020, and we're going to be in Proverbs 1, verses 2 through 6. And it reads, "To know wisdom and instruction, to understand words of insight, to receive instruction in wise dealing, in righteousness, justice, and equity, to give prudence to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the youth. Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance. To understand a proverb and a saying, the words of the wise and their riddles." Okay, so this is the thesis statement, as it were. This is the beginning. I guess the exordium would probably be the best way to describe it. In verse 7 would probably be the thesis. Solomon here is giving us, I would say, three things: the purpose in the exordium, the purpose of the Proverbs, the plan of the Proverbs, and the posture for the Proverbs. So I'm going to try to mine those truths out for you, and hopefully we can discuss them in the comments, and leave comments, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But let's talk about this. All right. So what is the purpose of the Proverbs? And we see that in the first three verses here, verse 2, 3, and 4. And it boils down to this: we need to have knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Now, for those of you who are classical educators, you're probably recognizing that that is the trivium. I don't think that it's a coincidence that the Lord, this is the Lord's world, and the trivium is the Lord's, right? And try three roads, tries three, William is roads, the Lord's is a Trinity. I don't think any of that is by coincidence. That we need to have facts. Right? We need to piece those facts together, and then we need to be able to walk in wisdom. That's basically what the Proverbs is giving us. If you've been following this series for any length of time, if you've been reading the Proverbs, this is what the Proverbs are all about. They give us clear knowledge. Hey, this is the truth. This is how you should understand it, and this is how we should walk in wisdom. That's what the Proverbs' purpose is. So that's what that's what we've been trying to do in this series, because we want to know, we want to understand, and we want to walk in wisdom. That's the life of the believer. Okay, so that's the purpose of the Proverbs, so that to know wisdom and instruction, to understand words of insight, right? To receive instruction in wise dealing. You see that this wise, you got wisdom again, knowledge again, instruction, understanding. All right. So then we're going to move on to the plan of the Proverbs. So how are we going to do this, right? We have the purpose. So how is Solomon going to execute this? What is the plan? Well, simply put, is just to be instructed, right? He's going to write these things out for his son, and his son is going to listen and be instructed. Solomon has the wisdom. The son needs the wisdom. He has this knowledge. He has the Proverbs. He needs it. His son needs it. So he's going to give it to him. And the son is going to be instructed by his father, by someone who is wiser than him. And what is he going to be instructed in? Well, wise dealing. Okay, your dealings, your interaction with men, your interaction with kings, your interactions with women, your interactions with children. Wise dealing. How are you going to deal wisely? What is right? Righteousness. He tells him here in verse 3, to receive instruction in wise dealing, in righteousness, justice, and equity. How do you know what is right? Most likely, Solomon's son is going to rule after him, and he's saying, okay, this is how you know what is right. This is how you do justice. This is how you walk it with equity. How do you make sure that things are equal, right? All right, so you want to make sure that, look, and then even that term there, right? Evenness, uprightness, right? How do you not show favoritism to one group over the other? He's, as a king, is going to need to know how to do this, and we as believers need to know how to do this as well, right? So we need to know righteousness, justice, and equity. And also, verse 4, it says, this is also the plan: to give prudence to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the youth. Now, this is another parallelism. Prudence and knowledge and discretion are one and the same, right? And then the simple and youth are one and the same. And we're going to see that as we walk through the Proverbs, and we have been seeing that being simple-minded and young are equated. Old people are expected to be wise. Young people are expected to be foolish. They're expected to need the wisdom from older people. And isn't it instructive for us that, even in our culture, we kind of flipped it. We inverted the paradigm again, where the young people are the ones we're trying to appease. And that's not what the scriptures teach. The scriptures teach that we are supposed to value the wisdom of older saints, older men, older women. That is what that's what the normal pattern of the world should be, because you should have gained wisdom as you were growing in age. So that's the plan of the Proverbs, right? The plan is for us to be instructed by them, right? And Solomon's doing that through the inspiration of the Holy Spirit. And then the posture of the Proverbs. This speaks directly to us, right? The posture of the Proverbs. Let the wise, in verse 5, it says, let the wise hear. So that means we got to shut up. Sometimes you just got to read. You got to shut up and let the Proverbs talk to you. Listen. Let the wise hear and then increase in learning, right? It's not the one that's talking that's doing learning. You don't learn while you're talking. Let the wise hear and increase in learning. And the one who understands, that wise, will understand, who understands, obtain guidance, right? So increasing in learning and obtaining guidance, those are parallels. The wise who hears and the one who understands are parallels. Okay, and this is what the purpose, the posture of the Proverbs is. It's listening. We need to listen. Let the words of the Lord, let the words that Solomon wrote speak to us so that they can give us guidance. All right, and then to understand the proverb and the saying, the words of the wise and their riddles. This is what we want. The end of it is for us to be able to understand Proverbs, and for us to be able to look at these Proverbs and say, wow, yes, I see how I can put this into play in my daily life. I see. And then when I'm in the situation, I'm not having to go to the Proverbs to read about it, because I've been in the Word. I've been in this book often. I know now how I should behave and how I should act and how I should walk, right? When I'm in these situations, to understand these things, to be able to understand wise words again. And that's also being able to decipher things, right? Being able to pick apart bad arguments, being able to spot good arguments, being, just understanding, not being deceived, right? When we have a good understanding of the Proverbs and we have knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So I pray that this blesses you today. I'm going to look, and again, I'm letting you all know that when I'm doing this, I'm preaching to myself. A lot of I need this too. So I'm praying that this blesses you all. I'm recording this mainly for posterity's sake, so that I can go back and listen to them and be convicted by the scriptures, so that I don't forget what it is I'm called to do as a husband, as a father, as a man. So I pray that these are blessing you. And again, let's spend some time thinking about these things: knowledge, wisdom, understanding, the plan of Proverbs, being ready to listen, and then in the posture of it, and then being willing to be instructed. All right. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Grace and peace.